I don't quite know how to describe Rob Warner. On the one hand, he's this incredible bike rider who's been a regular podium finisher, World Cup winner, numerous national title winner, and you know, someone who really did excel in technical riding. That's one kind of angle on him. Another angle is some crazy lines he comes out with, you know, and as brutally honest as they are, they did tend to get him in trouble sometimes. And then this year, in the year of live broadcast of the World Cup events, I think he's a really good guy to sort of let me just overtake it. A really good guy to give an insight into the sport and sort of what it's like to race at the very highest level. So I don't know what he's up to though. So he's someone says he's been busy drinking cider all summer and putting on loads of weight, but I guess we'll soon find out. So here we are in the Peugeot 106 on the way to see him. Rob, I just want to go through.
Careful that right, Jonah.
Oh, how close! I just want to concentrate a bit about the series so far, and maybe what the highlights been for you so far, and you've been following it quite depth so far this year.
World was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, I ain't really part of the series. I guess the Athertons winning everything in Andorra was going to take some beating, innit?
Yeah.
That was like history right there, wasn't it? Amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. You'd never ever think that would happen, would you? But it did. So. Yeah, that was unreal.
Well, what about how the year started off in Maribor, and everyone kind of, as well as talk about Hill, maybe he wasn't happy with his semi-final run, and then there's all the chat that maybe everyone had caught up with him. I mean, what were your thoughts on that first race of the year?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because I see it from a different point of view now. I get to see all the runs like in the box, see what you see at home. But like, I thought it was an unbelievable race, really. That I thought for really, that's kind of where the Downhill needs to go. It needs them faster tracks like that. It was gnarly when it with a big rock section and everything. But, no, Hill's run there that was just insane. Because I think 2nd to 8th was separated by 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, it was ridiculously close. And then Hill was like 4 seconds up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was 4 seconds out front, which was just amazing. Then I heard all those rumours, everyone was going, yeah, Hill's got a bet on with his mechanic that they're going to win every World Cup this year, and I wouldn't have bet against him at that point, but he's crumbled a little bit since then.
Wow, crumbled. What about in terms of a spectacle? And of those first 3 races, Maribor, Andorra, and Fort William, what about in terms of spectacle? How do you think things went?
What, from a TV sort of angle?
Well, as an event, as a World Cup event, how did it figure in the scheme of things over the last maybe 10 years or something like that?
Well, I'd say they're definitely getting back there. There's like a bit more of a buzz around the pits. There's a bit more money coming in, I'd say. And I think all this TV coverage or web coverage is going to really help, But like, there's still not as many people as there probably used to be watching. But then, like Italy, for me, it's all about the track, and I think it is for most of the riders. And like Slovenia's just an amazing course, and Dora wasn't that amazing, and you sort of wondered why we went there in the middle of nowhere. But like Worlds, yeah, there was hardly anyone watching because it was just miles from anywhere, but it was worth it because it was the most amazing track you've ever seen in your life for the downhill.
Yeah, it did seem that it was a rider's track, and on television it looked absolutely amazing. I mean, Hill's run, all the guys' runs looked fast, and I mean, so does it really matter then that it's not a spectacle to watch live and go there? Does it maybe think television coverage is where it's at, and we should change things and open things up faster and things like that? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. There's like, apart from Worlds back in the day when mountain biking was at the start, in 93, 94, and Kircher and then Metabia and all those sort of stupid figures of like 100,000 people watching. Yeah. But it's never going to get back there. It was new then, it was fresh, wasn't it? But so, yeah, I think so. And what like Freecaster and these companies are doing with this live web, I mean, isn't it unbelievable? You can sit at home now and watch the event live, like that afternoon. You can watch it live. There's no TV probably ever going to be able to deliver that. Although, Eurosport did to a point, didn't they, back then as well? But
well, it was totally gripping watching the coverage that you had on the television there, and I think there was a lot of people watching on that. Each of those events really.
Yeah, that's right. But they said there was a lot of people watching them, but I'd say it was. It's definitely a massive step for downhill and mountain biking. It's all going back on the web. Like, yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I mean that will bring in new sponsors, and it could give everything back to it that it needs to really give it a kick up the arse again.
I was interested in Maribor when you went up in the chairlift. You got to the top of the track and there was like a huge piste going down, and I was thinking, crikey, this would make really good action from like a helicopter or from a couple of cameras on the track, because you could see a lot of the track. But they kind of got down, and there was this bar on the side of the mountain. I was just thinking, crikey, you could it would be what great footage to watch riders go around that at like 70 mile an hour or something like that. I mean, what are your thoughts on changing things and opening it up like that?
Well, I think it'd be all right, but if you put a bar anywhere near the track, you ain't going to see Rennie at the finish line, are you?
Well, the thing is, I mean, look at Karlqvist in the 500 motocross GP 15 years ago. He stopped for a beer, so why not?
I don't think, he went on to win. I don't think they're going to go on to win in downhill. Times are a little tighter than that.
Actually, I was just looking at that moustache. The moustache is a bit Karlqvist, isn't it?
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but seriously, there's only so much coverage you can have of mountain bikes in the woods, in the tight.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's out in the open, you're going to see so much of the riders, and I think it'd be easier to film as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, to be honest, like Fort William, this year for the World Cup, I think we had 5 cameras on track, and someone said to me, I don't know how true it is, at BBC when they covered it for the World Championships the year before, I had 30. So we were all real gutted before, because we don't see what's going to happen until it actually appears on a screen at the start of the webcast. Yeah. There's no test rider down, and then like you say, I was like, oh well, that's all right, because they could show so much with few cameras because it's so open up there, and like if they want to take downhill on, then they definitely need to come out of the woods. You can have big wood sections, big technical sections, but if they want to make it good for telly, then it needs to be more like Maribor. Because Maribor, though there was a fair bit in the trees, or it was all in the trees, it was high speed. And if you get that out in the open, and so the cameras can cover it more, you'll see more then, or someone puts money in, so you've got cameras to cover it all anyway. Yeah. But big wide open fast tracks, close racing, big jumps. They need to put some big jumps in these tracks.
Yeah, I mean, so.
There's none.